Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about factorizing quadratic expressions. First, we're going to talk about factorizing quadratic expressions with two terms. Now, if you have two terms like these, let me show you an example here, question 4. If you have two terms like these, you'll notice that we have what in common? We have x in common here and here. Now, this one is different from this one. Here we have nothing in common. So factorizing two terms, we have two types of factorizing. The first type is breaking the elements down. The second type is what? The second type is double bracket method. So let me show you how to break elements down first, and then we will talk about the double bracket method. Let's start with question 4 here. Let's zoom in. In question 4, we have x squared plus 42x. First thing we do, we have to break down the elements. If we have numbers on both sides, we have to break them down to their prime factors. But if we don't have numbers here, and we have numbers here, we don't have to break down the numbers. First, x squared means what? Very good. It means x times x. And here we have 42x. It means x times 42, like this. So as we said, this type of factorizing is done by breaking down the elements like this. If you have numbers on both elements, it means you have to break down the numbers into their prime factors. If you don't have numbers or you have numbers only on one side, you don't have to break down the number like we did with 42 here, okay? Now, first thing you do, you come to the two groups here. We have two groups or two groups of elements. We take the common ones. Each pair of common ones, we take one of them. Each pair of common ones, we take one of them, okay? So let's do it like this. This is one pair, so we're going to take one x like this. Okay, here we have nothing in common, so the only common pair is the x. Now, we write the common pairs like this, x. If we have other common pairs or other common elements, we're going to multiply the common ones by each other. But here, because I have x only, I took the x only. Now, after writing the x, you're going to open a bracket. Now, look at the first group. What did you leave in the first group? Very good, we left an x. So we're going to write x inside the bracket like this. And then we take the sign, which is positive, and we write it here. And then what did we leave in the second group? We left 42, so we're going to write 42 like this. And after finishing writing all the elements that you left in each group and the sign between them, you're going to close the bracket like this. And this is the answer of factorizing using breaking down the elements method. Now, why did we choose breaking down the elements method? As we said, because we have something in common between the two elements. We have something in common between the two elements, and they are both two elements, okay? Now, that's the first method. Focus on the steps of these methods. Now, if we left nothing in any one of these groups, for example, if we took the x with another x on this side, it means we left nothing on the group. Now, if you leave nothing, it means you're going to write 1 instead of writing nothing, okay? You have to write 1. If you took all the elements in one group, you're supposed to write 1 instead of them. Now, let's move on to the next question. This is the idea of answering factorizing using two elements and using the breaking down the elements method. Now, for this question here, question 6, we have x squared minus 49. When you look at the question, you'll notice that we have nothing in common between these two elements. And we said if you have nothing in common between the elements, it means you have to use the double bracket method. For the double bracket method, you're going to write first bracket and then second bracket like this. Focus on this step because it's very important. Here we're talking about factorizing two elements only. So focus on the difference of questions. First, we have x squared. And x squared means what? Very good. X times x. X times x. Now, we have a subtraction sign in the middle. And subtraction means what? Means different signs. So this means negative here and positive here, or the opposite. You can put the positive here and the negative here. Now, if you have two elements and you're doing the double bracket method, focus on this. two elements, nothing in common. Two double brackets method, it means the signs will be different and the numbers should be the same. Focus on this. If we're doing or factorizing two elements only, and we have nothing in common, and we decided it's a double bracket method, so x times x, and then it means we have different signs and same numbers, different signs with same numbers. So basically 49, to find the number you have to use with 49, you can square root it. It will give you 7. So the answer is 7 here and 7 here. And this is how you answer factorizing two elements with nothing in common between them. So focus on this. Two elements, nothing in common means double bracket method. A double bracket method with two elements means XX, different signs, same numbers. And this is the idea of answering a question like this. Now here we have question 5 and question 6. Two elements. These ones, they have nothing in common. So which method we're going to use? Very good. We're going to use the double bracket method. And here we have two terms. They have something in common. So we're going to use the breaking down the element factorizing. Now let's see how to answer this. First, let's do this 5. Let me cover this area. This video is about the two elements factorizing only, so the other video will be about the three elements factorizing. As we said, because we have nothing in common, we should use the double bracket method like this, double bracket. Focus on the steps and how to use every single method. First, as we said, x squared means, very good, it means x times x, like this, x times x. And because it's subtraction, it means positive, negative, or negative, positive. Same idea. Okay. Now we take the 225. As we said, two elements, nothing in common, double bracket method, different signs, same numbers. So I'm trying to find the same numbers now with 225. As we said, to find it, we're going to use, yes, the square root. Very good. We're going to use the square root in the calculator like this, because both numbers must be the same. That's why I'm using the square root, and it will help me find the answer for the question. So basically, I go to the calculator, square root of 225, square root of 225, and I will get 15. So the answer is 15. So the same numbers that I'm going to use are 15 and 15. Now I just write them here, 15 here and 15 here. And that's the idea of this question. So basically, as we said, two elements, nothing in common, it means double bracket method. And the double bracket method of two elements will be XX, different signs, and same numbers, as long as this one is negative. So same signs, different numbers. That's the idea of this question. Now, for question 6, we have 4x squared minus 16. We notice that we have a number in common between them. It means we're not going to use the double bracket method. We're going to use the breaking down the element method. Breaking down the element method. So let's see how it works. First, we're going to break them down. Here we have a 4. Now, when you break down numbers, you can use both methods. You can break them down to their prime numbers, or you can break the numbers as close as possible to each other. For example, here, we can write the 4 here, and here we can write 4 times 4. Or we can break this to 2 times 2, and this one to 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 4 times. But at the end, it will give me the same answer. So I like always to break down the elements or the numbers to their prime factors. This makes it easier for you to have no mistakes. So the 4 will be 2 times 2, and then we have 2x's, which is x squared, x times x. And then the 16 will be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So we broke down all the elements here. We broke down this and this. Now, I look for common pairs. I have this pair, which is a 2, and this pair, which is a 2. Now, each pair, I take one of them, 2, 2, like this, and then I multiply the ones I took. The common ones, I have to multiply them. So 2 times 2 will be, very good, 4. So the first number outside the bracket is 4. Now I open a bracket like this. I look at the first group, and I always look at the first group. If I want to write in brackets, I have to write the first group first. What did I leave here? I left x and x. When you multiply them, it's going to be x power of 2. X power of 2, like this. And then I look at the sign, which is negative, so I write it here, negative. And then I look at the second group. What did I leave here? I left 2 and 2. When you multiply them, it's going to be 4. And then I close the bracket. And this is how you factorize two elements that have something in common between them. So focus on this. Two elements like these. Two elements, nothing in common, double bracket method. Two elements, they have something in common. You have to break down the elements and use the breaking down elements factorizing method. That's it for this idea. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.